Very good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Sunday, the 13th of April, 2025. We'll start as normal with the synoptic picture, beginning at midday yesterday, and we can see we're still reasonably clear air, slightly less stable than happened before, with that low pressure center just off the northwestern tip of France. If we cycle that through now, midnight last night was quite a lot going on, a couple of troughs passing through. Some of you may have noticed a little bit of very light rain last night. Quite a complex picture over the North Atlantic at the moment as well, with a few low pressure depressions close to each other and lots of frontal activity. By midday today, those cold fronts that were off the western coast of the UK have passed over. They are weakening, so one's becoming an occluded front here. And we're starting to see the effects of that today outside the window at the moment, with that sort of damp air with a little bit of low cloud hanging around. Moving through to midnight this evening, see those have once again moved through. Next thing we have to worry about is another low pressure system just off to the west, but shouldn't be much of an issue, and a few troughs up to the north of Scotland. So tomorrow has potential to be a reasonable day, not too windy, southwesterly flow, and nice unstable air as a result of the passage of those cold fronts. Looking at the SATPIC, you can see evidence of that actually having moved on off to the east. And if we just run that through, you can see this morning we've got all this low cloud moving away, and that should clear mostly, although we're expecting with that unstable air and damp air, we should get quite a lot of maybe sort of cumulus or potentially even terran cunims later on today. Checking that with the rain radar, just let that reload. Again, you can see quite a few showers passing through. We may get hit with one or two of those today. At the moment, they're predominantly off down towards Exeter and Plymouth. But if we look at the Met Office forecast in terms of rain, running that through, zoom out slightly there, you can see currently the evidence of that down to the southwest. And if we slowly cycle that through, just giving it time to load, see that we do get a few showers coming our way, albeit very light, and most of them dissipating before they get to us. But depending on how active it is later on today, we may get a little bit more influence there. So you really sort of by 5 o'clock, probably when we're going to get some of the noticeable showers to 4 or 5 millimeters an hour. So maybe a slightly early finish, depending on how quickly that progresses. Moving on to the TAF at Farnborough, we're seeing 2508 knots against southwesterly flow. Cavite initially, but then between 8 and 3 local, broken at 3,000 feet. There's a prop 30 in that between 12 and 4 we'll have poor visibility and showery rain. We've got no upper winds available, unfortunately, today. The Met Office isn't working properly, but we can have a look at windy, and that just confirms that southwesterly flow. So we'll be on runway 27 today when we go. The local Met Office forecast much agrees with what we're seeing elsewhere. Fairly low cloud to begin with. I expect it will open up a little bit earlier than what this would suggest, and then put the possibility of showers into the early afternoon. Not recognising here the likelihood of the stronger showers later at about 5-6 o'clock, and so we'll see how that develops. Much cooler today, sort of maxing out at 13 degrees, feeling a little bit cooler with that moderate breeze, so a little bit of a change from the last couple of days. And wind sort of maximum 10, gusting 20. Nice visibility today, although fairly low cloud base in places and higher humidity. Still a reasonable UV rate, so we could be fooled by the cold temperatures, so it is worth just keeping an eye on that. And the GFS, just confirming again, around 15 degrees, actually slightly warmer than is being suggested by the Met Office. So we'll see what we get. And a dew point of around 6. Looking to the west, looking upwind here at the moment, you can see a little bit of quite lively there, but with the windsock, with that lower layer of clouds starting to break up, and actually the clearest area probably being immediately overhead Lasham, so we'll be able to get flying straight away. And temperature is now up to 9.5 degrees with a dew point of 6. So hopefully, as we get a little bit more temperature in the air, we'll get that slightly higher cloud base. Looking at sky sight now, not slightly more pessimistic outlook, suggesting quite a bit of low cloud all day, and with some high and mid layer cloud moving in later on, and potentially some more showers than we were expecting, but otherwise fairly conclusive. It's suggesting it will be locally soarable up to maybe 2,500 feet above the airfield here, and the best part of the day being around 12:30, 1 o'clock. Thinking about cloud again, looking at top meteor, starting at 9 o'clock local this morning. You can see down in our area here, reasonably clear, just the sort of west of us, but still plenty of that sub 1,000-foot cloud. If we run this through, you can see it as it moves, starts to break up. We get a little bit of cube beginning to form. And then by 4 o'clock local, the cirrus, medium thickness cirrus is starting to move in. And that would close off anything that we did have. And then by later on this evening, that will all move through and we'll be in a nice clear sector before the next bit of weather arrives. Just the one no time to affect us today, number 17, and that's Bart and Stacey live firing. I don't think it will affect us, but that's the only thing that is nearby. What we can do is move on now to the local airfield brief. We'll begin, as always, with the RAF Odium cross section. So very much paints the same picture that we've been seeing elsewhere today. Broken stratus becoming few, and it's already becoming fewer if we look out the window by sort of 9 o'clock. And then we're expecting some strato Q as well. And the interesting thing, I think, later on, actually, even just sort of mid-morning, is we're starting to get these quite tall, towering clouds with some moderate icing as well. So that's definitely one to keep an eye out for today. We'll see how that goes. Not anticipating any sparks or any storms or anything, but some quite significant vertical development in those clouds. And as SkySat was suggesting, later on this afternoon, starting to get some cirrus working its way in. Their summary general situation is unstable southwesterly flow, turning cooler, which it very much is. Our bookings for today, then, we have two K-21s for booked instruction. There's one K-21 for instructor training and aerobatics. It's K-13 for trial lessons and the K-13 for Imperial College. We have plenty of single seaters available, and we have a 21 on the casual list. We are down, we've only got, I think, 4 on today. We have one suffered a flat tire yesterday, so we'll review that. In terms of the glides we have plenty of K-13s available to supplement where required. At the moment, we have 3 on the casual list and 1 instructor, so that should cover it. But please, by all means, come out both as a student and an instructor, and we'll get as much flying as we can. Simulator is available, and the front trim remains unserviceable. One movement scheduled as well today. We've got a Beach 350 due in at around 1 o'clock local, and we'll remain flexible on that. We'll keep updated as required. And to summarise, we have a low pressure over the UK, passing weak cold fronts. We've got low cloud to begin, lifting mid-morning, and unstable air mass with a moderate southwesterly flow. Still reasonably high UV, so don't be fooled by the cold temperatures. And we'll be on runway 27, cables on the grass to the south and be aerotoning on the north. Please make sure you're ready when the cable or tug arrives, and we'll try and up our launch rate. As normal, please don't land on the disused areas shown here in red. And this is the forecast airfield setup for today, as we saw the day before yesterday. That's all from me, and we'll see you out there. Keep it safe and have a good day. Thank you.